This happened to me about 3 months ago. I still think about it every single day. I was driving back home to Phoenix from visiting my cousin in Tucson. It was like 2 a.m. on a Tuesday night, and I needed gas bad. My car was making that stupid beeping sound it does when the tank gets low. I pulled into this Shell station right outside of Casa Grande. You know those places that look kinda sketchy at night but you don't really have a choice? Yeah, one of those. The lights were flickering a bit, and there was this weird buzzing sound coming from somewhere. I remember thinking my phone battery was at like 15%, which always makes me nervous when I'm driving alone. There was only one other car there. This beat-up white van parked near the air pump thing. I didn't see anyone around it though. I got out and started pumping gas, just minding my own business. That's when I noticed this guy. He was standing by the store entrance, just staring at me. Not like a quick glance or anything. Full-on staring. He had this red baseball cap pulled down low, and he was wearing a jacket even though it was probably 80 degrees outside. I tried not to look back at him, you know? But I could feel his eyes on me the whole time. The gas pump was taking forever. I kept looking at the numbers going up so slow. $15, $16, $17. I just wanted to get out of there. The guy hadn't moved at all. Still just standing there, watching me. I finished pumping and went inside to pay. The cashier was this tired-looking woman, probably in her 50s. She had the TV on behind her showing some late-night infomercial about kitchen knives or something. When I walked in, the guy in the red hat was gone. I looked around but didn't see him anywhere. "That'll be $23.50, the cashier said. She seemed normal enough. I handed her my card and she ran it through that old machine that makes the loud scraping noise. While I was waiting, I asked her about the guy in the red hat. "What guy?" she said, looking confused. "The one who was standing right outside like 5 minutes ago? Red baseball cap?" She shook her head. "Haven't seen anyone like that tonight. Just you and some truck driver who left about an hour ago." That was weird, but whatever. Maybe she just wasn't paying attention. I signed the receipt and headed back to my car. That's when things got really strange. The white van was still there, but now it was parked right next to my car. Like, right next to it. So close I could barely open my driver's door. I definitely remembered it being by the air pump before. I had to squeeze through the gap to get in. As I was starting my car, I saw him again in my rearview mirror. The guy in the red hat. He was standing behind my car, just watching. I put the car in reverse, and he didn't move. I honked my horn, and he took a step back, but he was still staring at me through the back window. I drove off pretty fast. My hands were shaking a little bit. I kept checking my mirrors to see if the van was following me, but the road behind me stayed empty. About 10 minutes later, I stopped at a red light in some small town. I don't even remember the name. That's when I saw the white van pull up behind me. The light felt like it lasted forever. I could see the driver in my mirror, but it was too dark to make out his face. When the light turned green, I took off. The van stayed behind me for maybe 2 miles, then it turned off onto some side road. I made it home around 4 a.m. I was exhausted and just wanted to sleep, but I kept thinking about that guy. How he disappeared when I went inside. How the cashier said she never saw him. How that van moved closer to my car while I was in the store. The next morning, I was telling my roommate Zara about it over coffee. She said maybe I was just tired and seeing things weird. But then she showed me something on her phone. A news article from 3 days before. Missing woman last seen at gas station in Casa Grande. It was the same Shell station. The article said a 28-year-old woman named Maria Santos stopped there around midnight and never made it home. Her car was found the next morning in the parking lot. Keys still in the ignition. I never found out what happened to her. But sometimes when I'm driving at night, I still look for white vans. And guys in red baseball caps who stare too long. I don't stop at gas stations alone anymore. Not at 2 a.m. Not anywhere.